Pete with the smallbusinessresourcecenter.com and Small Business Resource Center YouTube channel. The Small Business Resource Center is your source for information about stimulus programs and basically things to improve your business. So this video is about the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, the EIDL, or the $10,000 EIDL grant frequently asked questions. I got this information for the Massachusetts SBA. The reason why I'm going over this is, of course, so many people have had problems, and I do have other videos that are specific to this, which might be able to answer your questions. So if you need help and the questions are not answered in this video, comment below, let me know what those questions are, and I'll help you out. If you're new to the channel, also consider subscribing and hitting the notifications bell, and the like button really helps me too, because that helps with YouTube saying, well, this is important information for someone, and they'll help get it out to other people. So question number 1, how do I contact someone to go over issues I have with the EIDL? Now that, what a question. Now, they do have a service number, of course, which is the number that they tell everyone to use. That's 800-659-2955. It's funny because they already tell you right here that you should potentially ask for a Tier 2 representative. Not really sure why when you ask for Tier 1 representatives. To be honest with you, it seems, and I would not really email their generic line here, but you can do that if you want. Maybe that's effective because the email address, this information will be in the link. But if you call Tier 1, most of the times they just tell you, you got to wait or email us. And basically that just equals more waiting for you. If you call and ask for a Tier 2 rep, then you have maybe a 30% chance of getting a nice Tier 2 rep on the phone. The reason why I want to elaborate on this is you got to keep in mind these people are getting phone calls all day, and probably get very annoyed because a lot of people are very upset. Sometimes they're yelling at them. If you call at the wrong times, you call right before lunch, they want to go to lunch. If you call right at the end of their work day, they're working an 8-hour day, they will want to leave or work evening. So keep in mind the quality that you sometimes get with someone on the phone has a lot to do with how their day's going when you're calling them. So I always recommend calling earlier, maybe calling right after what would be someone's lunch, and not before lunch and right when someone would be leaving work, or right when they start their shift, because they probably have 2 shifts based on the hours, 8 to 8, 12 hours. They probably don't have people working 12 hours there. So keep that in mind. You can also email the SBA Massachusetts DO at sba.gov. Keep in mind this is a Massachusetts document. I'm going to have a link in the description. So you may want to, if you need to and have problems, Google your state and local SBA office and then Google them. And you can contact them and get their email address. That could be helpful also. So when will the EIDL loan be available again? Keep in mind this was done a little while ago, but it is now open for all businesses. For a short time, the Carranza decided they would limit the EIDL to agricultural businesses only. If you want to get updates directly from the EIDL, here's where you can get those updates. I registered myself because I try to get the most up-to-date news and bring it to you guys. So if you're subscribed to my channel, most of the times you're going to get those updates, but some of them that don't pertain to the programs that you're interested in, I don't put the information up there. And of course, I don't put all their information because I know it's stuff that you're not interested in. How do I get updates on the EIDL loan in advance? I applied early and didn't get everything right. I haven't heard back. Keep in mind they're giving you the same information. Call, ask for Tier 2. The number is 800-659-2955. 1-800-659-2955. You can email disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. Please note it does take over a month. It's actually not supposed to. The advance was supposed to be in 3 days, And then, of course, it takes about a month to get your loan. But if I have videos on reconsideration or getting an increase, I should put them in the link in the description, or you can search my videos if that's specifically what you want. Go to my channel, type increase or reconsideration, and you'll find videos with specific information. And I also have the contact number for the processing center for the EIDL loan. So if you type processing center in my search, you will get their direct contact information, not just generic information. So we are a small family-owned hotel and applied for the EIDL in hopes of receiving the maximum amount to $2 million. Is that possible? Well, at this current time, the SBA limited the loans to 150. But before they did that, they actually made it 500,000 and 300,000, and people have gotten increased loans. They did state that they're planning on, and I shouldn't say they, senators has stated that they're planning on increasing it back to that 2 million amount for people that do need it. So just want to put it out there, but that's what's on the document here at the time of this, that's what they posted. Are there strict parameters with the EIDL as the PPP? For example, can I use it for paying credit card balances? The Economic Injury Disaster Loan Funds are for working capital to pay the ordinary and necessary debts and obligations of the business that were not impacted by the disaster. Funds cannot be used to expand or improve business or refinance existing debt. However, a credit card used for working capital needed an emergency basis, for example, obtaining emergency loan bridge that can be used for EDL. You can pay that portion back. Excuse me. I got ADD. Sometimes I read stuff and say, what is this? And my brain just jumps past a bunch of words. Now you know a fact about me. Are there certain things that should be paid with the Economic Injury Disaster Loan? The EIDL program loans may be used as working capital for expenses such as payroll, accounts payable, rent, mortgage, vehicle leases, and other bills that would have been able to be paid if not for the COVID-19 disaster. So they do have a standard operating procedure. I will put the link in the description. We have received acknowledgement, but no indication as to whether, when, or how much funding will be received. How does this process work? Okay, your loan is in processing queue. You will receive an invitation to go to the portal. When that portal invitation comes, you'll see a proposed amount. You actually have to kind of create a account. It doesn't tell you this, but you also have to validate who you are. The validation questions are pretty easy. It should be stuff that you know to validate you are who you say you are. You cannot request an increase, unfortunately. The proposal, okay. Well, it says you can't request an increase, but you actually can. And I do have a video on how to do that. When I got my approval, I requested an increase, and you can talk to your loan processor if you request that information during that time. So I want to keep that in mind. I do have a video on that. I'll put the link in the description. Or you can search my videos for increase and the contact information for loan processors. I received an email direct to me to create an EIDL portal. I created it, but I see errors on my banking account that I cannot be verified. Contact the SBA customer service 800-659-2955 and have them put a note on the account indicating the issue. What ends up happening is once you contact them, they will send you a link to update your bank information. So that's the way they do it to keep everything compliant and proper. Is collateral taken on the EIDL and Advance? Collateral is only taken for loans in excess of $25,000. There is not real estate collateral required. A blanket UCC1 will be filed against any non-real estate business assets. Okay, what address does email address portal come from? All EIDL communications come from disaster customer service at sba.gov. I wouldn't necessarily say that if you contact Recon or someone else, you're going to get a different email address. Where can I find the rules for EIDL? Frequently asked questions, disaster loan assistance, FAQs. Also, publicly available information is Disaster Assistance Program, SOP. I will have the link in the description. If I have an application number starting with 2000, what do I do? You must go back to the current portal and reapply. Then email both your application numbers to Massachusetts do@sba.gov. We'll reach out to the office and request that they match up the applications. So, of course, if you're not Massachusetts, you may want to contact your local office. Just Google your state and local SBA office and contact them. If we receive a denial for the EIDL, how can I dispute a denial? To request a reconsideration for the emergency advance funds, subject to the availability of funds, you or the borrower can request to any of the following. This is the mailing address for the, I wouldn't mail them information. Maybe it is quicker, I don't know. You can fax your request to 202-481-5931 or email pdcrecons@sba.gov. Your request must be in writing and be received by the office as soon as possible. You actually have 6 months is what they tell you, but why would you wait 6 months? How do we make corrections on the application regarding banking information or anything else? Email your request to pdcrecons@sba.gov. They don't really tell you this on this portion, but I always like to follow up with what the SBA told me. For the subject line, you always want to put what you want to do or what you need to do and your application number. It makes it easy for them. So it's reconsideration, put that in. If it's an increase, put increase and put it in caps. So if it's banking information incorrect, put banking information incorrect, help, and your application number. You got to keep in mind, these people are getting probably thousands of emails a day, and if you don't make it easy for them, that is a challenge. If you make it easy for them, they'll be able to respond back to you quicker. They can see your subject. Okay, I know what to do with this person. I know who it is. Probably you have a quicker turnaround. And be nice. Keep in mind, if you're nice to people, they tend to be nice back. Can the EIDL money be put into an interest-bearing account? The Treasury can deposit the disbursements to business checking or savings accounts. Does the EIDL interest start accruing immediately, or is it delayed for the year as well? EIDL interest accrues when the funds are disbursed per the buyer, and the accrued interest will be added to the remaining term of the payment after 12 months deferral. I applied in March and by a mail-in paper application. Shortly thereafter, applications were only accepted online. How do I find out about the status of my application? The Disaster Center did take in paper applications. I would suggest to first reach out to them to see if your applications are in the pipeline, find out the status, and you can call their number, 1-800-659-2955. That's 1-800-659-2955. Or if you have hearing issues, 1-800-877-8339. That's 1-800-877-8339. Or email disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. disastercustomerservice@sba.gov. You may need to provide identification information such as your business tax ID. That's the other reason why I recommended don't fax them or email them mail them anything. Even though they do have those options, they're telling you right here that they're so backed up with mail and it's probably not a good idea. So EIDL Advance. I applied for the EIDL early and I have not received the 10k advance yet. what is the process? The 10k EIDL Advance was limited, is what they should put here, by the SBA to $1,000 per employee, maximum $10,000. Generally, you will not receive a notice when the advance is dispersed. That means it would go directly into your account. They don't send something that says, you've got mail, $1,000 is on your way. So you kind of just have to look for it. Some people may have gotten it and not known. The other thing that is a trigger is that if you have any alerts or you're set up and you find out that the SBA checked your credit, because around that time, either before or after, most people said their credit was checked when they got the advance. So keep that in mind. Check your bank account for a deposit from the Treasury on behalf of the SBA. Someone submits their application. They must wait to be notified and go to the portal for the next step. If the application is declined, you will receive a letter on why, and then you can file a reconsideration. I have links in the description on how to do that, so check those out if you want. For the EIDL on March 21st and the streamlined version on the March 31st. We received the advance but not have heard anything. Are the EIDLs still being issued? You want to keep in mind that currently today on the 28th, they actually stopped the EIDL advance at the beginning of this month. But if you already applied before that, you're actually still supposed to get your advance, and many people commented that they were getting the advance. Currently, the senators from the Small Business Committee have actually stated that they are trying to work on giving everybody that $10,000 advance as the CARES Act originally was passed, because the SBA, of course, changed it, and basically they want to bring the EIDL advance grant back to help small business owners, because they understand that many small business owners actually are not getting funding or having problems. So I also think that they're going to lower the credit limit requirements because of the fact of so many people are getting turned down because of that. But keep in mind, if you're having business problems, your credit's probably not going to be great. So last question, I applied for the EIDL early April and have not received an advance. I was told I did not check the box for the online application. Is there any way to correct this? It says there's no way to correct this. You can discuss this with the loan when the loan officer contacts you. I'm not sure if there's an error or not, and I know I did multiple applications. I actually emailed them, and for some reason they responded and said, I did not check that box, but I actually did get it. So I don't know if they have a generic statement when people are asking questions that says, you didn't check the box, but yes, I did. I could read. I actually probably made a video that tells you to check the box, and that was when I did my application. So going it back to that, I have a video on how to request your increase and reconsideration. I got that directly from the SBA. So it's Pete with the Small Business Resource Center. I hope this video helps you. If it does, smash a like button, or if you have questions, comment below. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and hit the notification bells. Have a great day. More information will be coming up soon, and check it out.